And the title of the presentation will be Predicting New Relationships Between Genes and Human Phenotype Ontology Terms.
So thank you.
Control L.
Yeah, I try this one. Okay, I'm Max Schubach. I'm the postdoc in the lab of Martin Kircher in Berlin. So in the next 5 minutes, I want to take the opportunity to show you a software tool that you can use to predict new relationships between genes and phenotypes. So as a motivation, you think you have your cohort from patients and you genotype and phenotype them, hopefully using the Human Phenotype Ontology. And maybe depending, of course, on the cohort, you may can solve or find the causative mutation in around 50% of your patients. And what about the rest? And the question is, maybe we're lacking right now of information because not every gene is yet now associated to disease. And also maybe some phenotypes are missing for some genes. So how we can assign those phenotypes? And of course, we can go to other ontologies like the mouse phenotype ontologies and use this source, or we can just use gene networks. For example, from protein-protein interaction, we can derive this by text mining or gene expression, and we can learn the new relationships using machine learning. So this is the general idea behind that. So we have on the one side our ontology. Here I'm using the Human Phenotype Ontology. On the other side a network, gene-to-gene network like string database. And we're using a base learner to learn our relation. And this can be any base learner like a support vector machine, random forest, or whatever you like to use. And this one learns your gene phenotype relations and predicts them. The problem about this base learner is that these are so-called, I call them flat classifier, so they're absolutely unaware about the hierarchical structure of our ontology. So they don't know that's a DAG, so they're just simply predicting term to gene and nothing else. So this will have some, will have violating constraints here, and we're getting inaccurate prediction. So how we can solve this? There are two tools, for example, out that do similar thing. Phenostruct, for example, has a quite good performance. All the problem about these tools, they are not really flexible. So they really stick to their base learner. You have to use it. And you can use only for Phenostruct, for example, the phenotype ontology, a Human Phenotype Ontology. So that's why I want to propose this software package, HEMDAG. So this has a really flexible input. So we use a lot with the Human Phenotype Ontology, but in theory, you can use all the other ontologies. You need, of course, your annotations, and then a network for genes. So, for example, the string database and your flat predictors, prediction from a flat predictor. And it has several algorithms included to make your flat predictor hierarchically aware. And also some integrated optimization that you can, using internal cross-validation to learn different parameters. And we also wrote extensive tutorials, so you can go to the website and try it out. And also it's really easily installable using Bioconda. Just one slide of results. So here are two algorithms in the HEMDAG software package. Down there you have the publication where they are described and compared now to Phenostruct. So Phenostruct, that's a precision recall curve, is working quite well. But also these two algorithms HEMDAG are a bit better here. Here we used as a base learner the support vector machine. We trained on the old Human Phenotype Ontology using the string database and tested then on a new phenotype ontology with the new annotations. And the good thing is really also about HEMDAG software, it's really fast. It took for this purpose about 20 minutes. I think Phenostruct take 18 hours or so. So you don't have to wait too long here. Yes, there's also a poster, B579. Poster session was yesterday, but I will be around. There's a bit more about the algorithms and also a bit more about the tutorial. And I only want to acknowledge especially Marco Notaro, because the software package and the algorithm is basically one of his main work in his PhD. So thank you for your attention.
Maybe one brief question. So I have a brief question.
Yes.
If you first do some form of prediction non-hierarchically, and then you somehow aggregate them into hierarchy, you always have the problem that if you during training do not consider the hierarchy, you will then have some form of error propagation. So if you're going to have some loss, and this will then just continue the more you combine individual classifiers. And how do you resolve this?
Yeah, so if you just do it simply combining, you also always the problem that you're getting really low predictions at the leaf levels. Yes, so there are several algorithms that take also not only so these algorithms, some of them take also all the descendants into account and try to make up also with a threshold to make up more sensitive predictions out of it. It's not like that you're just going from top to down, so also from bottom to up first. And this should somehow resolve this, but yeah, so I think also there's still an improvement to do for here, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So our last presentation